She forgot about all the days he did not show up. The clothes he wore was different, unlike anything she had seen in her village. They held hands and smiled throughout their conversation. He concluded by telling her that if she really wanted to see the magical river in Kwayekrom, then she must marry him. The princess returned home and confided in one of her maidens, Ajua. Princess, you are the most beautiful woman in Susuka. You do not need anyone to take you to a place just because of beauty, Ajua said. Thank you, Ajua. I will think about it, she replied. The princess met Tepa by the riverside the next day and agreed to marry him. He promised her no harm will ever come to her so far as she is his wife. The following week, the princess was married to Tepa. It was a beautiful ceremony, and all the guests and villagers were in shock that the princess has married someone outside their village who is not even a royal. But in spite of everything, they were happy for her. Deep down, she was a bit scared. She kept on thinking about the unknown village whilst she braided her hair for the journey ahead of her. She said farewell to her uncle and her father and mounted her horse for her journey. They traveled 4 days and nights till they came across a deep, dense forest. The princess's skin had darkened due to the excessive sun and the bad weather conditions, but she was very happy when they finally got off the horse. The princess looked quite different, and some of her beauty had worn off. Pepper reassured her that she would regain all that is lost. They journeyed on through the forest. The deeper they went, the more beauty the princess lost. Tepa kept insisting all that is lost will come back to her. She was tired and hungry, so she sat on a log to rest. Abba, I am going to search for some fruits for us to eat, Tepa said as he hurried off. The princess was quite surprised as Tepa didn't address her with her royal title, Nana. She just kept quiet because she was in an unknown territory and was scared and alone. The princess waited for hours and days, but there was no sign of Tepa anywhere. She began to cry as there was a lot of weird sounds coming from the forest. Out of desperation, she started wailing loudly. She had become so skinny that her collarbone was sticking out. Hey! Why are you screaming in my forest? Ha 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 ha. You will never be seen by anyone again. A loud male voice sounded from the forest. She also felt the ground shake as if an earthquake was about to happen. The voice got nearer and nearer, and the princess hid behind a rock. The voice sounded a bit familiar, but she couldn't tell because it sounded very scary. The princess was dragged from behind the rocks by a very big muscular man. She looked up, and to her surprise, it was Tepa. But he looked very different. He looked like a beast. Hey, Tepa, why are you doing this to me? You said you loved me. He pushed the princess to the ground as she cried for mercy. There is no river for beauty. I brought you here to destroy your beauty and take over your kingdom. Why? The princess said with tears in her eyes as Tepa was pulling and tying her on a tree. Because you are the most beautiful in the world, or should I say you were. Ha 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 ha. Tepa transformed into a giant lion, ready to devour the princess. The princess looked on in shock as her life flashed before her eyes. Jabodom, the greatest hunter in the Dompim forest, was nearby and was observing all that was going on. He took out his gun and aimed at Tepa, now a lion. Go! Go! He fired 2 shots and the lion hit the ground and passed away. Jabodom untied the princess and carried her in his arms. My lady, where are you from? He asked. Susuka, she replied with a faint voice and fell asleep. The hunter journeyed 4 days and nights till he reached Susuka. Even though most of her beauty was gone, the villagers recognized her and pointed the hunter to the direction of the king's palace. Papa, the princess screamed for her father as she sat on the floor of the palace's forecourt. She narrated her ordeal to her father whilst the palace hands watched on. Her parents hugged her so tight and were glad that the hunter had saved their daughter. After 2 weeks, the hunter asked for the hand of the princess. The princess accepted the marriage and got married to the hunter in a modest celebration. The moral of the story is, don't be consumed by earthly and physical beauty, for it can fade away easily and cannot be gained back. And also be satisfied with whatever you have, because God made you special. Thank you. If you enjoyed this story, kindly subscribe to my channel, share, like and comment. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Till we meet again. Bye.